All right, welcome back to TD Sports Press Podcast. We are here for a late night Tuesday night after a great slate of first four games. It started off with a great day, and we ended with a buzzer beater. If this is anything what March is going to be like, then sign me up for it because both these games were awesome to watch. Looking at both these games, Texas moves on, and we also have Howard winning their first game. We're going to get into more of how do these teams do this and can they cause any noise in there. And then also in this episode, we are going to look at some we're going to look at the previews for tomorrow. We got Lehigh and Prairie View A&M, and we also have, excuse me, let me fix. We also have Prairie View A&M and Lehigh, and we also have SMU and Miami, Ohio. So I mean, both those games should be. I expect some good games. At least all the indications are as of right now that they should be pretty good. So first off, we got to go with Texas wins at the buzzer. What an absolute great game from Texas tonight. NC State, man, they made it very interesting down the stretch. Story of this game: Texas they came out ready to go. I think they're up 25-15, and then NC State, they made it close. I think that it was 30-29 at halftime. Texas was up. Then going on after that, or excuse me, it was back and forth. It felt like I think that NC State had the lead for a little bit, but they never had it for a long time. They would go up by one, and then Texas would go on a 5-0 run or a 7-0 run. And then down the stretch, it looked like Texas was just going to blow them away. And NC State hit two crazy threes from opposite corners. And then, Texas, they kept throwing the ball away. They had problems with their hands. I don't know. Not exactly sure what was going on. I don't think that's the way that they probably wanted to end the game. But, Texas fouls NC State. NC State goes 1-1 for the line. I mean, or they made one, missed one. Whew, excuse me. They made one, missed one, and then Texas goes down and hits a buzzer beater, and they will be on the first flight to Portland, Oregon to play BYU. It should be an absolute great game. Texas wins this game. Texas was a team that I predicted to win this game, so I feel really good about it. Another thing, I know we love Dick Vitale and Charles Barkley. Can we please never have them do a March Madness game anymore? In terms of, I think they're great humans. I think they represent great. But can we just talk about the game? I mean, is that too much to ask for? Can we just talk about basketball in terms of what's going on in the game? I don't want to hear about NIL. I don't want to hear about stuff from 20 years ago. I want to hear about the game, and I want to hear analysts with that. So I would say that's something I struggle with. I'm glad that it's definitely over. So, but yeah, hats off to Texas. They will be playing BYU on Thursday, and if they so happen to win that, they'd play the winner of Kennesaw State and Gonzaga. So Texas pulls it out. That's their second time beating them this year, funny enough. So moving on, another great spot in the sport. Howard gets their first tournament win against UMBC. I was totally wrong with this game. I know that I like to admit when I'm wrong. I said this game was be low scoring. I thought UMBC would winning, and I was wrong about both. This was a high scoring game. UMBC just couldn't string stops together. At the end of the day, they just could not string any stops together. And UMBC, they just couldn't score enough points. I think Howard, it was awesome. I mean, UMBC, they made it close down the stretch. They kind of did a UNC or NC State. They hit a three to cut it down to two, and then they hit a clutch basket, and then UMBC would hit a clutch basket, and then they went to. And then they gave them a timeout when they weren't supposed to. UMBC, they get one last heave at a three, and it does not go. So, I mean, like I said this in the opener, I mean, if this is any indication of what we're going to get this March, sign me up for it. Sign me up for it because I think that March is going to be awesome. I think the first four proved exactly my point, that this is going to be a awesome tournament. Some upsets, some Cinderellas. Hopefully we can get some of that. So Howard, they get their first win. Their reward, probably not the best reward in the world. They have to go play Michigan in Buffalo, and then they'd play the winner of St. Louis and Georgia if they so happen to be the third 16 seed to beat a 1 seed. Not sure if that's going to happen, But hey, Howard, they're going to get additional revenue. I think 2.1 million over 6 years. They'll get 300,000 per year. So you can never be mad about that. So congrats to Howard getting their first tournament win. And that's what makes this tournament so great, is those teams getting their first win. And Howard has a tournament win before Nebraska does. We're going to talk about Nebraska later. So. All right, we're back. Our stream went off for a second, I think. I think we're still on. Our camera just had a malfunction. Okay, we're still back. Howard gets their first win. It's absolutely great to see that. Sorry if that ruined some of the stuff. That's kind of weird. That's never happened before. So with that being said, we're going to get into the previews looking at tomorrow. We should have some great games tomorrow. So let's go ahead and start looking at those. Lehigh and Prairie View A&M. They will play each other. Winner of this game will play Florida. Lehigh won their conference. Prairie View A&M was the 8th seed in the SWAC, and they were able to pull it out. They beat the 1 seed, the 4 seed. I think they beat Southern. I think they were the 3 seed, if I remember right. So you got to give it up to Prairie Valley. They came to play at the right time, so it's good to see them. They'll be a March Madness. Lehigh won their tournament. And we can kind of look into this game here. Both teams, they love to play fast, I would say. You look at it, will they be able to, we'll see, be able to move it. Prairie Valley's 18-17, Lehigh 18-16. Like I said, Prairie Valley was the 8 seed in the SWAC. In the Patriot League, Lehigh was the 3 seed. They beat Boston College. Unfortunately, Navy, that's their conference. They got beat on a buzzer beater where the clock didn't even start right. Lehigh is favored to win this game. And Prairie Valley, man, can they stay hot? I mean, they had a great conference tournament. Can they keep it up and win one here and get that additional revenue, which would be awesome? So in this game here, Lehigh, Prairie View Valley, or Prairie View A&M, who am I going to take to win this game? I'm going to go ahead and take Lehigh to win this game. Out of the Patriot League, I think that this conference is a little bit tougher. I think that Lehigh, they have, we'll see. But I do really like Prairie View, I like Lehigh to win this game. I think Prairie View is going to be a tough out. I don't think you're just going to walk in and win this game. It should be a great game, honestly. I think Lehigh will win this game. It's going to be a close scoring, and it should be really fun. So I'm looking forward to this game. It should be a good one. And now the one that everyone has been talking about since Sunday, SMU, Miami, Ohio. These two teams will play tomorrow. SMU, as of the current moment, let's get a line on this. SMU is currently 6.5-point favorites. They opened up at 7.5, and now it's 6.5 for SMU. So let's go ahead and let's talk about this one. Obviously, Miami, Ohio, they were the last team in. Obviously, they were already in, but then when they reseeded and shuffled all the teams, they were the 68th team. So that means like they weren't on the verge of missing it. They were already in, but then once they seeded and scrubbed the whole process, redid the seeding, they were the last seed based off their metrics, which they should be. And then we got SMU. SMU got in this tournament because of the committees. They think that Edwards will be playing in this game. We have not received any word if he's going to be playing in this game or not. But let's go ahead. Let's give a preview on this game. This is going to be tomorrow night. And SMU, Miami, Ohio. SMU is a 6.5-point favorite to win in this game. I'm taking SMU to win this game, and I think they win comfortably. I think I might be eating my words on Thursday, but I think that Miami, Ohio is lucky to be in the spot they are in. They did not play a hard non-conference, and you can say what you want. If you guys know, on Selection Sunday, I went on a tangent about San Diego State should have been in as Miami, Ohio. Everyone makes the excuse of, oh, well, no one wants to play Miami, Ohio. Well, San Diego State played Arizona, they played Baylor, and they also were able to play Arizona. So those are 3 teams, or Michigan, Arizona, and Baylor. Those are 3 teams in the non-conference. Why could Miami, Ohio play one of those teams? Anyway, SMU going into this game, I think they were technically the last team in. They've had some injuries. They hit a half-court shot. I'm going to take SMU to win this game by 10+. I don't think this game is going to be close. I seriously might be eating my words tomorrow, but that's okay. I really think SMU is the better team. I don't think there's really much of debate. I think Miami, Ohio has been a great story. They went undefeated in the regular season, and then they got a quad 4 loss against UMass in the first round. So we might see a really improved Miami, Ohio team. Maybe they're going to come out and play inspired basketball. And that would be awesome if that happened. Like I said, I really do cheer for the mid-majors. It stinks when I see a mid-major like San Diego State who did not get in the tournament. They don't get rewarded for playing a hard non-conference. So that's unfortunate. But I think that SMU will win this. They will get the win for the ACC. They will go ahead and they will play Tennessee on Friday. And that is Virginia and Wright State's quadrant as well. I think this is going to be, like I said, I think that SMU, depending on their health, maybe they can make a slight run. I have not been impressed with Tennessee, but they got to get to that point. They're going to have to beat a stingy Miami, Ohio team. It should be really fun. So those are my two previews looking at the games tomorrow. And, yeah. So what I wanted to do tonight, we're going to start previewing games. Like I said yesterday, my bracket will drop tomorrow. I will be giving you my full rundown of the brackets. Who do I pick and why do I pick them? That's what we're going to do tomorrow. So it should be a fun video. If you guys want to check that video out, go ahead and do that. And hey, while we're here, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. We're up to 53 subscribers. We are going to get to 100 subscribers. We're going to fight and claw and scratch and get our way to 100 subscribers. TikTok's been going crazy. Spotify's been going crazy. Appreciate you guys. And anywhere that you watch us, it really does help us out big time. So we're going to start with some Thursday previews because it's Tuesday. We're going to have games in a couple of days. We have USF Louisville previews. This is an upset alert. USF coming to this game after winning the American Conference. Louisville, they won against this SMU team that we just talked about. And then they got beat by Miami. Mikel Brown will be playing. I think they said that he was available. I hope he is playing. I want the best players playing in March. USF, their coach just turned down the Syracuse job. So very interesting. I think he ends up at Providence, but I would hope he stays at South Florida. South Florida is not your typical mid-major. You look at South Florida's makeup of their roster, they are a very athletic team. You got to be athletic. You got to be smart when you go to the paint. You got to finish off 2 feet. You cannot go off one foot against USF. You will absolutely pay for it. Louisville, on the other hand, I love the Pat Kelsey. I think he's going to be a great guy, a great coach there. They're looking for that tournament win after seriously I mean, if you guys remember what Louisville was like 3 years ago, it was a dumpster fire. I mean, they had Kenny Payne there, and it was a mess there. I mean, I remember I think they were seriously like 5-30 or something like that. It was absolutely crazy. So we can go ahead and sorry guys, a little bit tired for this stream, but anyways, that's no excuse. Anyways, for this stream, let's go ahead and let's take a look at some of these numbers here for this game. Let's get it pulled up. Jeez, it takes forever. Louisville is a 4.5 point favorite to win this game. They were up at a 6.5, 7.5 spot. So who do I think is going to win? Upstart USF or a Louisville team out of the ACC? Give me the underdog here. Give me USF to beat Louisville. I love the athletic team that USF are. I think they're going to cause problems for Louisville. And this Mikel Brown, this is serious news. You don't just come back and being in tip-top shape after missing a week of basketball. You missed a week of game time. Like, his body is not going to be able – I don't know. That's just my philosophy on that. I think that we're going to catch a Louisville team that's a little bit too comfortable. I think that USF are ready to make a message and say, hey, the American Conference is one of the best mid-major conference, if not the best one. Obviously, I think but anyway. So I think that South Florida is going to win this game. They're going to shock the world. They're going to win this game, and maybe they make a run to the Sweet 16. Maybe that is in store for this team. I think that'd be awesome if that were to happen. So give me USF to beat Louisville. That's my first kind of upset with that. Moving on, we're going to have a TCU Ohio State preview, and holy smokes, I wish I did not have to pick between these two teams. These are two hot teams going into this. Ohio State got beat in the quarterfinals, and TCU got beat in the quarterfinals as well. Both teams got beat, TCU got beat by Kansas. Ohio State got beat by Michigan, and both teams had their chances to win the game. They definitely had their chances to win this game. Looking at this game, TCU, you look at their body of work. They almost beat Michigan at the beginning of the year. They got beat by New Orleans. They beat Wisconsin. They beat Florida. They beat Iowa State, and they have some terrible losses as well. They can play with any team, and they can lose to any team. We look at Ohio State. Ohio State has found fire lately. This is a team that was on the bubble. We weren't sure if they were going to make it. Are they going to have enough wins? And they just found they kept making play after play. And Ohio State, they are going to be in, and they're comfortably in. They are the 9 seed in this. TCU is the 8. Maybe I messed that up. But it doesn't matter. Winner will play Duke or Siena. So it should be absolutely great. The line on this game is Ohio State's favored at 2.5. Who do I like in this game, TCU or Ohio State? Give me TCU to win this game and Jamie Dixon. I love the job that TCU has. It hurts my heart because I love the Ohio State senior. I love the way that he plays. He deserves to have his moment. I think TCU, if they show up and play their normal basketball, they don't do anything spectacular. They don't do mistakes. They will win this game. I think some people are laughing at me the way I say this. I think that TCU. I love that the matchup advantages that they will have in this game. Looking at that, I think TCU will be able to get out and run a little bit. We'll see if Ohio State can guard that, and Ohio State can get out and get after it. I think, like I said, these are two hot teams coming in. I wish they didn't play each other. I think it stinks they play each other, but I really like the Big 12 this year. I think that TCU is a very underrated team. Maybe they could be a second weekend team. So I'm super stoked for that game. So give me TCU. So far, I have given you 2 upsets so far. Moving on, can Nebraska get their first win against Troy? Troy is coming out of the Sun Belt. They were the number 1 seed, if I remember. Yeah, they were the number 1 seed, and they won their conference. Troy, their marquee win is obviously San Diego State. They went to San Diego State, and they won. And then they played USC like 2 days later, and they lost, but it was a super close game. Then we got Nebraska coming to this game. They're kind of licking their own wounds. They had their worst loss of the year, in my opinion, to Purdue. And now Nebraska is going to get a chance to win their first tournament game. Can they do it? I think this is a very interesting matchup. Looking at both these teams, I think that we're going to get up and down for this game. I really do. I think we're going to get up and down. And I think that Troy's going to play with this. I don't think it's as simple as Nebraska is just going to come in and oppose their will. So who's going to win this game? Nebraska or Troy? I think Nebraska is a double-digit favorite, and Troy's a really good mid-major. And unfortunately, I'm going to take Nebraska to win this game because I think that Nebraska, coming off their worst loss, are going to play their best game on Thursday. I think that they know what they're going to have the most pressure on them to win in the first round out of all the teams. They will have the most pressure, and I think that they will be ready for the moment. I don't know if they will beat Vanderbilt or McNeese State, but that doesn't matter. I think that Nebraska will get their first tournament win. I think they're going to be locked in. I think they know what this moment means. I know a lot of people that are saying there's some pressure. I just said there's some pressure on them, but maybe this makes them play more freely. Like, they want to get the job done. They want to do whatever it takes to win a game in March Madness. And I think that Troy's is a team to watch out for. But I'm going to take Nebraska to win this game. And it could be an upset alert. I don't think so. I'm going to go with Nebraska. I'm going to go with my gut. And I'm going to trust the Cornhuskers to get their first tournament win in school history. Man, what a moment that would be. And then our last update, our last game that we're going to be talking about is this one. And obviously tomorrow, because we go live every day, we're going to be previewing more Thursday games, maybe some Friday games. Can VCU get a win against North Carolina? North Carolina obviously doesn't have Caleb Williams. Looking at both these teams, VCU won the A-10. They beat St. Louis and Dayton. VCU beat St. Joseph, and then they beat Dayton in the championship to make it here. UNC got beat by Clemson in the first round. UNC, their season's kind of does not look good right now. What North Carolina team are we going to get? So we got North Carolina, and we have VCU. This game is going to be a home game for North Carolina. I'm going to take VCU to win this game. I know I've just picked about 3 upsets here. Give me VCU to win this game. I love the way VCU has been playing lately. If you look at their track record, they weren't really playing. Like, they were okay. They had spurts. But I think that VCU has played such great basketball lately. I think that North Carolina's kind of melded in the season. I kind of get that sense. I watched them against Clemson, and they had some sense of urgency at the end of the game, but it felt like throughout the game, they just had no sense of urgency. They didn't have any sense to win the game. I'm going to take VCU and take this mid-major to beat North Carolina. I have not been high on the ACC this year outside of like Duke and sometimes Clemson, but I'm going to take I'm going to take a motivated VCU squad to win this game. They almost pulled out the win last year when they played BYU. They just ran out of steam at the end. So, like I said, guys, that's our full episode today, man. We're going to keep giving you guys full episodes. If you guys are just finding us on YouTube, we're also on TikTok. We're on Spotify, and we're on Apple. We're on Instagram. We're everywhere. We're on X. Make sure you guys give us a follow. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, all those good things. We'll be back live tomorrow after SMU beats Miami, Ohio. So with that being said, we're going to hop off the air here, and we will see you guys later.